So here we are now at books and record requirements. Broker-dealers have certain requirements for what they need to keep, and these required records have different time frames for which they must be kept. Most things are 3 years. Trade confirmations, U4, U5, the fingerprint cards, including from terminated personnel, communications with the public, order tickets, and the firm's compliance and procedure manuals. Most things are 3 years. Customer complaints are 4 years. Customer complaints are 4 years. That's the only thing that's 4 years. Now, when we get to the 5 years, I like to think of these as the verification documents. These are the FinCEN documents, the suspicious activity reports, the currency transaction reports. Anything verifying the money, making sure that the money is not coming from illicit activities, or if it's above certain amounts, or if it appears to be weird, they're reported to FinCEN. We do describe this a little bit more in later sections to understand really what that is. So if you're a little confused about FinCEN or what I mean by these, we're going to get to them in a later section. But basically it's verifying the money, or it's verifying the identity, like their driver's license, keeping that on file. But these we're going to talk about again. These are if the money appears to be coming from potentially problematic sources, you've got to file reports, or if they appear to be doing weird things with money, like trying to basically launder money. There are also 6-year documents. These are the big documents. The blotter or the purchase and sales made by the firm. General ledger, the stock record, customer ledger, the customer account record. These are the huge, massively important documents. There technically is a 5th level, unlimited, lifetime. Those are the birth certificate type documents. The way I think of birth certificate, if it's a corporation, it didn't really have a birth, but corporate charter, partnership agreement, board minutes, things at that level are lifetime. It's unlikely you're going to see that. Seeing the record retention requirements, yeah, probably going to see at least one. The limitless ones, the ones for unlimited, not often tested. Much more likely you're going to see the 3, 4, 5, and 6 years. Here is the chart. Here's the picture. It is also going to be presented below as well about what they are. Most things are 3 years. The customer complaints are 4. The identity, the customer's identity and the money, SARS and the information to verify identity, are 5 years. And the 6 years are the seriously important documents. Holding customer mail. We can hold customer mail provided that instructions have been made, and we can hold it for up to 3 months. They just can't disappear though. There must be some emergency contact though, so we can get into contact. We can get in touch with them if some emergency occurs. Business continuity plans. This is one that I believe most of what you're going to need to know is on this first slide. Haven't really been hearing much about the second slide. The second slide is going to look real ugly. But what you got to know, at least from what I hear about business continuity plans, is that they must be created, maintained, monitored, and checked by each member. They must be updated in the event of any material change to the member firm, not just personnel. And 2 associated persons must be designated to FINRA as emergency contacts. Of these 2, one of them must be both senior management and a principal of the firm. The other, if not a principal, must still be of senior management. Now, if you work for a large multinational or at least national broker-dealer, almost assuredly both of these associated persons will be senior management and principals. But if you're working at a smaller broker-dealer or just starting out, this is why there must always be 2 people at a broker-dealer. You cannot have a broker-dealer with only 1 employee. There must always be 2, because it must be at least these 2 associated persons. Now, what must the business continuity plan contain? That's what I haven't really been hearing being tested on. Business continuity plans are definitely on the Series 26, the principal exams as well. But even on them, none of the following slide is really tested. But here it is. This comes from the actual list from, if you go and look at the FINRA rules. Data backup and recovery, hard copy and electronic. All mission critical systems, financial and operational assessments, alternative communications between customers and the member, alternative communications between the member and its employees, alternative physical location of employees if something should happen, like an earthquake or something, and the building is damaged or destroyed. Critical business, constituent bank, and counterparty impact. How would my business going out affect constituents, banks, and other people? Regulatory reporting, communications with regulators, and how the member will assure customers prompt access to their funds and securities in the event that the member determines it cannot continue. Business continuity plans are designed after the 2008 crash of what happens if these guys fail, to have that failure plan in place. But we can't leave any of these blank. If one of these doesn't actually apply to the member firm must explain why it doesn't apply to them. Customer protection and custody of assets. Those in custody must take great care of books and may have other requirements, such as a surety bond. A surety bond is not an investment like a normal bond. This is a type of bond that's dealing with, like, if you've ever had contractors, painters, builders, plumbers, and you've ever seen that they are bonded. That simply means insured. A surety bond is an insurance that if something happens, this surety bond is going to provide the required money that is needed. But we can't use the funds for company business. Must be segregated. Using the funds for company business is an unethical practice called commingling, and you cannot commingle client and firm funds. That brings us to the end of this unit. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be seeing you again shortly.